What's up, game masters, dungeon masters, referees, storytellers, whatever title you rocking? I appreciate you for coming to my video. I am Kyle Markin, and today we're digging into one of my particularly favorite topics in regards to the TTRPG space, and that is homebrewing. Why homebrewing exactly? Well, that's because I am of the belief that homebrewing will eventually make you a great GM. And you start by doing that with your own setting. Traditionally, at least in my opinion, you would start with your own setting. So we're going to talk about that today. Now, let's start out with this. I do not want y'all to believe that you have to be specially gifted, a great creative writer or anything like that to tell like these stories that you want to give to people. It's not even feasible. Okay, like you have to understand, like these are your ideas. This is what you're allowed to express your creative freedom, and maybe it might not make sense in one end, but worry about that later. Start with something. That's all that matters. All you need is a starting point. Having your own, building your own setting or own campaign setting is just like having your own pocket dimension. I think back to a particular episode of Rick and Morty in particular. I know some of y'all probably have opinions on Rick and Morty. Just bear with me. And stay with me, right? So as I'm watching this episode of Rick and Morty, Rick is facing the consequences of his actions of playing God to a realm of people. Now, their lives might feel insignificant because in the grander scheme of things, they are fuel, metaphorically and literally, for his machinations. Or not even, and that machination just being his flying card. The best thing about having your own world is the fact that there is no wrong. This is your shit. For lack of a better word, this is your stuff, your rules, your world. You do what you want, and the confidence will start showing when you present these things in game. And at one point, it'll be seamless. You might stammer a little bit, but you stammer. Let's go with stammer. You might stammer a little bit, and that's okay. That's normal. Those are the growing pains of getting better as a GM, because not everybody's a great speaker. I totally understand that. Sometimes I get tired of talking myself. So don't bother feeling like you're not going to be great at it the first time. Nobody ever is, and that's okay. Keep in mind, like, you're not just flipping through a module and reading box text. You're essentially solving problems, most likely that your players created, but there are problems nonetheless that need answers. But it also starts with you asking some of your own questions in order to get these answers. So such as, like, you have a monster, right? It's wreaking havoc on a local town. Okay, well, why is it wreaking havoc on a local town? Oh, well, some of its game has been overly hunted. Their rabbit species. Yeah, that works. If it doesn't, we'll fix it. But for now, they could just be overly hunting a rabbit species, and that just so happens to be this particular creature's favorite game. Let me tell you how I got started, right? I had one idea. A big bad evil dude who wanted to take over the world. That's a classic trope. We all know it. But then I asked myself, how can I make myself different by questioning, why does he want to take over the world so bad? Well, is that even a bad thing to begin with? Well, how does he want to do that? Okay, maybe he's trying to enslave all the living creatures. That is probably bad. I don't think we have to question whether or not slavery is bad. I hope not. So how's he going to do it?
Where did you get that muffin?
Muffin button?
Just like that, I had a premise. That's how homebrewing works. You know, you don't need the whole schmuck of things. You don't need to, like, just, in so many words, a good way to think about it is this. If you're going to come up with a big bad evil guy, if you're going to start with that, I would recommend you make sure you have a clear motive. Why is he evil? We as people are very fickle. So even all our decisions are going to be based upon our motivations. So if we are no longer motivated to achieve something or acquire something, then the likelihood of us seeing those goals all the way through to the end are slim to none.
The chant of offering. Stray from the path, and you will not be granted the black wings that will carry you to the heavens. Fate has set you free from human reason, and by providence, embrace your inner evil. Now stand and face your future.
I got some questions for you, and you can use these to kickstart your homebrew. What are the players supposed to do? Why are they even together? Were they hired? Are they lost? Were they chosen ones? Do they want to work together, or did they get forced to? Easy enough, right? Next, you can ask, where is everything happening? How do they get there? You're going to need a starting location. Without a location, there is no adventure. A quiet village, maybe a ruined fortress, an island, maybe a floating island. And then give them somewhere to go. Of course, the movement and the momentum will drive the story outside of this little place. And lastly, you're going to make sure you understand what conflict. That's going to help build that momentum again. That's the potential to the kinetic. Is it going to be a fight? Maybe it's going to be a political spat, maybe, or a puzzle here and there that might be holding them down, or it could be a riddle or some form of challenge that the players will have to overcome in order to solve it.
You must be Snowvilliers. Yag Roche, Psychom Division. I understand your plight. However, the Pulse threat is not so easily dismissed. The very existence of Ulysses puts every last one of us in danger. Tell me, do you really think your life is worth more than the lives of millions of Cocoon citizens? I do not. And so, it falls to me to order your execution. It's that simple. It is my responsibility to see you put down. Your lives are forfeit.
Oh, cut the crap! You want Luzin? Then kill Luzin! Why do other people have to die? The purge has got to stop!
Do you think we want to purge our own people? If any trace of Pulse remains, the populace will erupt into chaos. Without sacrifice, without the purge, Cocoon will die.
I'd be lying if I said I didn't like torturing my players every now and then. Regardless of what you decide to do, though, just make them care. And beyond that, I think you'll do just fine. If you're still not sure where to go or what you want to do next, I think the best thing to do right now is drop a like. Give me a subscription. I really appreciate it, especially if you've made it this far. I can't thank you enough. But in return for that, I've got a little freebie for you you can work with, and we'll even ask a couple questions along the way while we're talking about it. So, let's go with this. There's a grand melee happening in the next city by the sea. The players want to travel there, and maybe to fight, or probably to watch. But the local town militia stops them, lets them know, just fair warning. The forest, it's been getting dangerous lately. You do well to take care. But the only path to the coast is through those woods. So, that's your setup. Now, the players are going to figure it out beyond there. From there, you just have to make the forest dangerous. Why is it dangerous? Fill it up with stuff, of course. What's out there? I don't know. Fill it up with stuff. Who benefits from this blockade? There may be somebody out there that's looking to keep people contained. They might even be conspiring to conduct some type of secret evil experiment on the town. Who knows? Do it. Put it out there. And what if this ties into a larger mystery? Damn, I think we just got a plot going right there. There's going to be this secret organization that's trying to keep people within the town as they run these experiments on them against their knowledge. All the players want to do is just go to the Grand Melee. And now we've got ourselves in a muck here, right? There's a lot of intrigue, a lot of questions to be asked, and who knows? It's homebrewing. Once you get one idea, there's a dozen to come after. So let me know in the comments who you'd build or what you'd build from this hook. I'd really appreciate that, actually.
I can't remember when I've had a more pleasant day. Until we meet again.